Michelle here, and I'm back to share some yarn goodness with you all today. Okay, so today's video is a process vlog. I'm going to be crocheting the Saturday sweater by Tamara Kelly of Moogly. So the yarn that I'm going to be using is Mandala by Lion Brand, and the colorway that I will be using is called Centaur. And each skein is 5.3 ounces, 150 grams. It is 590 yards per ball or per cake, which is 540 meters. And this yarn is a light number 3 DK weight yarn, and it is 100% acrylic. It is super soft. I'm really excited to work with it. I'm already loving the color changes. And yeah, it also has like a little halo over it, but not like a super big halo, but just a very subtle one. So I really like that about it. And the size that I'm going to be using for this sweater is a size large, which is a number 3 in this pattern. And that pattern, it says that for the number 3, it fits up to a 42-inch bust. However, I have a 44-inch bust. But the pattern, or the sweater rather, has 8 inches of positive ease. So I feel very confident that this is going to be just fine. I also feel quite confident because I have taken a gauge swatch. So I didn't do a gauge swatch before starting the pattern. Instead, I decided to do the gauge swatch while working on the project. And so for this pattern, it does, in order to meet the gauge, you need to measure 7 rows and 13 stitches, which I have done, and I'm so happy that I have made gauge. And so far I have done one shoulder, one of the front shoulders. And so the next thing that I need to do will be to make the second shoulder. And then I have to join those two shoulder panels together. So that's going to be really fun. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and get started on making those shoulders and joining them together. Joined the sleeves, and I have finished both shoulders, and now a neckline is shaping up, and I am so excited. Look at these colors. They are beautiful. We kind of have like a kind of a pewter grayish blue here, and then this beautiful soft tan, and then we have gray at the bottom. And so I'm so excited to see what the next color change will be. And this is how my yarn is looking right now. I should have this beautiful terracotta type of color coming up next, and I am just loving the color changes in this. So I did want to share with you all that for the hook size, I am using a USJ 10, which is a 6mm crochet hook. So it's a nice large size hook, which is fun. And let's see what else. So in order to get this started, I had to do a foundation double crochet chain. And I'm not a huge fan of the foundation chains. However, I do feel like they are necessary. And so, of course, I went to YouTube University to learn how to do a foundation chain. And what I realized, it wasn't as difficult as I thought it was. Usually I prefer to just do a regular chain because it's easier, but I challenged myself. I did the foundation double crochet chain, and it does have like a much stretchier type of look. So here are the shoulders. It'll be like that. I did have one little issue, which I feel like I've resolved it now. So there is a step in the process where it says for you to double crochet through all stitches, including the chain stitches. So for me, when I think double crocheting through the chain stitch, I think double crocheting or just, you know, making a stitch in the top two, in the top, like the V. You know how you have your chain and there's like three pieces of yarn? Going through the top two pieces of yarn is what I consider double crocheting inside of a chain. However, I went back and I looked at the free tutorial that Tamara Kelly had, and when she says double crochet in the chain, she means double crochet in the chain space. But the written pattern didn't specify space. So I guess you could do it however you want to, whether it be to only go through the top two loops of a chain or actually go into the chain space. And so for the first 7 rows for the shoulder, I had not watched the video, and so I just did my double crochets into the chain space, just into the top two pieces of yarn on the top. However, since I had only done 7 rows, around row 8, I did start doing the double crochets into the chain spaces. So I don't really think there's a huge difference, and I only did the first 7 rows on the shoulder, so it's totally fine. But it does give this nice kind of like a boxy stitch. So yeah, that's the only little issue I've had so far. Not a huge deal at all. So the pattern has 2 different length sizes. One length size is like a tunic size, so if you want to crochet it a little bit longer, you can certainly add rows to it and make it more of a tunic, or you can make it a hip length. So just depending on how you want to do it. I personally have a very short torso, so I am going to be trying this on as I go. In fact, it is encouraged in the video or in the pattern to try it on as you go. And also she recommends that you don't weave in your ends as you go, just in case you may need to add more rows later. So I thought that was really nice. So the next thing to do is to start on the body of this. And I know you all are going to ask, like, what are you wearing? So I have not worn this in forever, but this is the Spring Shawl by Elle Christmas, aka the Dabbling Hook. I absolutely love it. It's huge. Look at that. It's a ginormous triangle shawl. I am gonna go ahead and continue working on this and working on the body. I have finished the front side. It's looking so good. I'm loving these color changes, especially this color here, this terracotta looking color. This is beautiful in this kind of a grayish blue. I'm loving how this is coming together. So now I need to start on the back of the sweater. And pretty much I'm just going to be doing the same thing as I did on the front of the sweater. Now the shoulder shaping is a little bit different, of course, in the back. And the neckline shaping will be different, of course. But so far, so good. I'm going to have a ton of ends to weave in, but that's totally fine. So yeah, so next up, I have to do the back, I have to do the shoulders, and then I have to do the sleeves. So yeah, I'm ready to get started. I have finished the front, and it looks amazing, and I have finished the sleeves on the back side and the shoulders, and so I'm really excited for all of this to come together. And look at the color changes. I love it so much. And so front, back, this is just gonna be so much fun. At this point, the next thing I have to do is work on the body for the back side. But I wanted to show you all what I did with the yarn. So let's see. So for the front side, I had this much left over, and it looks like there's probably like 2 colors left in there. And so since I had 2 skeins of this, I just did the front side, and then I cut it, and I had this much left. And so then I started a new skein for the back side. And so far, this is what I have. Now, I have recaked these. It's just easier to pull from if you recake them, and you don't have any surprise knots or tangles. So I did recake this, but I'm really excited. So I'm going to start on the body and then join here. And so it'll be really interesting because just looking at the color changes coming up, there's quite a lot of this golden ochre that's going to be next. So I feel like a large part of the back is going to be this beautiful color here. So I'm excited about that. And then it gets a little bit lighter, and I'm hoping I can get to that terracotta color again, because if you look in the center, there it is. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to get to that. I'm probably going to end up stopping at the blue, just judging by this one. So I didn't get to the final 2 colors in this one, so we'll see how it goes. But oh, I am wearing this is the raspberry beret. It's a crochet beret by Little John's Yarn, and this is a Sophie scarf using oat knit yarn in the gray bonfire colorway. And this yellow, it's some scrap yarn that I had. It's beautiful, it's bright. It was an excellent stash buster. In fact, both of these are excellent stash buster projects, and I absolutely love wearing crochet and knit together. I love mixing up the accessories, and so I think it goes really well. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the back body of this sweater. Finished the back side. Here it is. Those beautiful color changes. So it has like this terracotta up here, and then it ends with this beautiful bluish gray color that we have going on. Beautiful. So the next step is I have to seam the back side with the front side, and the pattern calls for whip stitching. So I don't know how excited I am about doing a whip stitch, but hey, we're going to do it anyway. So it's totally fine. All right, so I did pull from 2 cakes of yarn. And for the seaming, I really just have to choose which cake of yarn is going to match better overall with the seaming, because I do have to seam up the sides and I have to seam up the shoulders. So I just have to see which will be better, because I have to use the other cake to do the hem line and also the hem around the arms and around the neck. So I just have to decide, am I going to use this cake or this cake? I do have a little bit more of this cake, so I don't know. I'll just decide when I put everything together and start seaming them up, and I'll just kind of decide which one to use so it'll look best. All right, so I have to get to seaming these together, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use stitch markers to just kind of place it, and then after there I can go from go to seaming it. I did not like the whip stitch as I predicted. So what I did was I joined the front and the back side using a single crochet join, and I'm very happy with it. So here's the join. I think it looks great. That's the top of the sleeve. And then I will show you the sides. Here are the sides and the armhole. I think that looks really good. I really like how that turned out. So yeah, there's that. And the yarn that I used, because I was still trying to decide between which cake to use, and I ended up going with the darker color, the dark gray color. I just think it's really nice and consistent, and I'm thinking I'm going to use that also to do the neck edging, the sleeve edging, and the bottom hems. So I think I'm going to go with that. We'll see. And I did try it on, and I really like the fit, so I'm not going to need to add any more rows or do anything like that, because I really like the fit so far. So yeah, the next thing I need to do is weave in all of these ends, because there's a lot of them, and I could have weaved in the ends as I went, but I wasn't sure if I was going to need to rip back or not, so I just decided to weave the ends in after I am done. And so I need to do the neckline finishing, the sleeves finishing, and the hem, and then after that I will weave in all of my ends. So do you weave your ends in as you go, or do you wait till the end of the project? Let me know in the comments below. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with this finishing, and then I will go ahead and weave all those ends in. I have finished the edging and the seaming for the sweater. I have seamed the back side to the front side. I have weaved in all my ends, which was quite a task, but it was actually kind of meditative. So, you know, I didn't mind it. I decided not to block it on my blocking mats because I actually really do like the fit. I did try it on. And so the fit is really, really well. And yeah, so I decided not to add any rows, especially because I know, like, over time and through wearing it, gravity is just going to take its course and like the fabric is going to drop anyway. So I didn't want to add any more to it. And this is how much yarn I have left. I ended up doing the edging and the hem in this darker gray color. And so I did the neck, the sleeves, and the bottom hem edging in this grayish color. So that's really nice. But right now it is in the dryer. And so while it's drying, I figured I'd just chime in and talk to you all. So it is in the dryer. And basically what I do, I have used this yarn before for another project. And so when I finished it, I soaked it in water for a few hours. And then after that, I put it in the dryer for about 30 minutes, low cycle, and it came out wonderful, squishy, soft, and amazing. It had a lovely drape to it after I took it out of the dryer. And so if you have an acrylic yarn that you're working with or a superwash yarn, then putting it in the dryer shouldn't be a problem at all. And so yeah, I really like doing that method. It's really fun. And so I'm so excited with the colors. I just love the color gradient. It's really nice. And yeah, I really like it. I think they did a really good job with picking the colors. So let's talk about the actual pattern. Now, this is a free pattern on the Moogly website, but you also have the option of downloading a paid PDF, which just kind of makes the pattern a little bit easier to read. Also, one thing I really like about this pattern is that it is size inclusive, and it fits a bust size between 34 inches all the way up to 62-inch bust. So that is a wide range. I'm 44 myself, so it's perfect. And of course, there is ease in this pattern. So I did end up using both skeins of yarn, and I guess I'll just have to add these to my scrap skeins to see what I'm going to do with them. But it's really cool, and it has like a really nice thick and thin type of feel. Of course, this is DK, but in a few spots it did kind of feel like a sport weight a little bit, but it didn't change my gauge or anything. It's totally fine. So yeah, that is the update that I have for you all. It is drying right now, and then after it dries, it'll be time to try it on for the final reveal. Done, everybody. It is done. I am so happy with the final product. I love it so much. So it was in the dryer, and it is so soft and comfy, and I just love the drape that is on this. Okay, so the sweater has like a really cool 4-inch slit on the side that I just love. And I made the tunic length. Now you do have the option to make the hip length. Now, as I said before, I do have a short torso. So in hindsight, I wish I had have made the waist length version, but this is totally fine. In addition to jeans, I'm probably gonna like wear this with leggings or wear it like with a long dress or something like that. Like a nice maxi dress would be nice. So yeah, lots and lots of options. Okay, so I did take a little bit of notes. As I said, I have a short torso, so if I make it again, I will do the waist length. I feel like this would have made like a really nice crochet dress. Like if I had kept going, this would have been a really cute dress, put a belt with it, and it would have looked really nice. So I started this pattern on November 17th and I finished it on November 29th. And that time includes from like crocheting my very first stitch to blocking it and drying it and all that good stuff. So I could have done this faster, but I wanted to film the process. I wanted to film this and vlog this and take you all along with me. And you know, it's just been a lot of fun vlogging every day, the ups and downs of doing this sweater. Also, there is a tutorial by Tamara Kelly of Moogly, and I will link that below. And after seaming and edging and everything, this is how much yarn I have left. That is it, y'all. That is it. Not a whole lot. So yeah, I think there's like 4 colors left in these cakes. So I'm sure I'll find something to do with it. Wouldn't like a cute matching headband be nice? Or it'd be nice if I had enough for a hat. I don't know. The possibilities are endless. So I have links in the description box below to all of my crochet supplies if you're interested. You can find me on social media as Queen's Yarn Boutique. And also check out my YouTube community tab. I ask a lot of fun questions over there. There's fun polls and surveys over there as well. And if you're going to support my channel, I have links below for that also. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And to continue watching, you can just click on one of the videos on the next screen. So until next time, bye!